Hey, this is Chad YETI Ward of the Roadie Relief Project, and we're creating madness with Madness to Creation podcast.
Welcome to the 49th episode of the Madness to Creation podcast. This is Maddie. How are you? I hope you enjoyed the previous episode featuring Jason Rockman of The Kings of Quarantine, Slaves on Dope, and Heavy Montreal, which is a really awesome radio program via iHeartRadio out of Canada. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you made a donation to Roadie Relief. Shows may be opening up as we speak, but that doesn't mean that they get an advance on their bank account or anything like that. It is absolutely critical that we just donate a few dollars to help with Roadie Relief. And if you want to apply, if you're a roadie and you need financial assistance, go to roadierelief.org, fill out the application form with your references, and click apply at roadierelief.org. Here I have with me the founder of roadierelief.org, Chad Ward. Chad gets into how much he misses touring, the daily functionalities of a roadie, and some of his favorite tour memories, including Foo Fighters, 311, and other bands. And he also we also get into a very interesting discussion about why he left California to move back to Omaha, Nebraska. And I can imagine it's due to high taxation, all that stuff. And I hope you enjoy this podcast. And please make a donation to roadierelief.org or tell a friend about this podcast. And that way they can be aware of what's going on with Roadie Relief. We get into a very good education on there. And to make a quick announcement, on the 50th episode, we'll be featuring legendary artist Moby on our podcast. Moby. I hope you enjoy it. And also, Tag Publicity, who set us up for the interview with Jason Rockman and Chad Ward. Their founder / manager, Tom George, is fighting lymphoma and a brain tumor. I will be providing a link to their GoFundMe page to help with their medical expenses. And please check out this podcast on Spotify, Spreaker, SoundCloud, JioSaavn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Podchaser, and Podcast Addict. And you can also I want you to also check out the band The Nomadic, who provided the theme song Beyond Blue for this podcast. Check that song out on Spotify and add it to your playlist. On that note, have a great night. Be well, stay positive, and you are loved. Welcome to the Madness to Creation podcast, where self-care and music merge. This is Maddie. How are you? And I have with me Chad YETI Ward. And Chad, what's going on tonight, my man?
Hey, how are you, brother? Just kicking back, enjoying some wine.
Oh, nice. Do you consider yourself a wine connoisseur?
Kind of. I mean, I guess. I prefer it over beer.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Are you like a dry wine, Moscato, or what kind do you like?
No, I like red, bold reds.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say I talked to Jason Rockman a few hours ago. Talk about Kings of Quarantine, and just take us into that project. How did it come about, and how have they been so beneficial in terms of the Roadie Relief Fund?
It's been amazing. Like I got introduced to Jason by a mutual friend probably last September, and we talked on the phone briefly at first and kind of just introduced ourselves, and from there it's been such a magical friendship has come together with him, because I feel like he's somebody that I've known my whole life now, and that project has helped bring a lot of awareness to Roadie Relief. In particular, I mean, the last song, the video that we just did for She Lost Channel Zero for Public Enemy, man, that song is by far the best one we've had so far. So they just keep getting better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and so like She Watched Channel Zero, like in terms of making the cover song, and like how does like somebody go about making the cover song while paying homage to that artist, while making it their own?
Right. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like Jason's a pretty good mastermind on all this, and he picked the songs. And I don't know if he listed some songs that are still to come, but there's one particular I think that's just gonna blow it out of the park. But yeah, I think even though they're not changing the songs in any way, you're having so many different artists that are so different in their own way that it makes it its own, and particularly on this last one, I mean, having Sendog and S.A. Martinez from 311, those two I thought really killed it.
That is such a dynamic duo. 311 and Cypress Hill. I feel like they have like some differences, yet they have so many similarities in terms of their vocal stylings and all that.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, and early in my touring career, like it's crazy that you say that, because I remember back when I was with 311, way back in the day, and we spent a whole tour opening for Cypress Hill. And there was a band called The Far Side, if you remember them from Los Angeles.
I remember The Far Side.
Yeah, and so it went Far Side, 311, Cypress Hill, and what an amazing tour.
So what are some crazy memories that you have of that tour? Like, I mean, I know you're a drum tech and all that. Like, are you also like a musician as well, or are you mainly known as a drum tech?
No, I mean, I've never like played per se. I've always been a roadie. There was a moment when when we were on the Warp Tour on 311 in Australia, the only time that Warp Tour ever went to Australia, New Zealand, and 311 was a headliner on it. We were playing football, and Chad, the drummer, broke his hand.
Oh man, how do you do that?
I was like, go deep. And I was quarterbacking, and he was being wide receiver, and Essay was covering him. And I throw the ball, and I was like, I'm gonna try to overthrow you so Essay can't like intercept it.
Right.
And I did, and Chad dove for the ball, and he broke his thumb. So later, me and Essay would play this game where we would kind of like fart on each other. And he's like, come here. And I go, I'm not coming near you. I know what you're about to do. And he's like, no, come here. And I'm like, no. And then later Nick comes up to me, come here. I'm like, what's up? What's up? And he's like, Chad broke his hand. He's like, you're going to play tonight with us.
So with you playing that night, what are some memories that you have, like being on stage with a legendary band such as 311?
It was pretty crazy because, I mean, Chad Sexton is a monster drummer. And I can play drums, but obviously I'm not at his caliber. So I was very nervous. So I split the set that night and the next night with Josh Freeze till he knew all the songs, and then he just took over.
What was your favorite song to play by 311?
My favorite song that I got to play with them would probably be I'm trying to remember all the songs I did play with them. Homebrew would probably be the one.
Oh, that is such a good tune.
That's a great tune.
Yeah, so
and it was actually the first song. We would do the intro into the, at the very beginning of the show, and then that was the first song that dropped. So.
That's so crazy. Like, do you still keep in touch with the guys to this day?
Oh yeah. Tim, the guitar player, and me have been friends since kindergarten. And I was the best man at his wedding. So, I mean, like, we're best friends. I mean, for the most part, we don't get to talk. We don't talk every day, but I mean, yeah. And then I literally just talked to Nick yesterday.
Oh, nice. So I'm sure it's like really nice catching up with them and stuff like that. So I imagine they're just like regular people, I mean, obviously they've sold millions of records and stuff like that, but they just seem like just really chill people.
Great people. Very positive. Good vibe from them.
Yeah, and they're kind of from my neck of the woods. I live in Iowa, and they're out of Omaha. Is that where you're from too?
Yeah, I live in Omaha. I mean, I moved out to I lived in California for 15 years, but then I was just like, I don't like it. I got to get back to the Midwest.
What did you like about California?
Well, I don't know. Being a Midwesterner, it's weird out there. And like one thing I definitely for miss it. People are friendlier here. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, it's not the same out there. I missed like seeing the mountains and obviously the ocean and stuff, but there's no four seasons out there either. Everything's either burnt, like black,
Exactly.
or green.
Pretty
It's
much.
crazy. They have. I'm always like, "What's California like?" Oh, they have two seasons: brown and green.
I've actually heard of it described that way, and there was a lot of, I would say, a lot of orange because of all the fires and stuff like that. And my best friend that lives out there, it says there's a waiting list for U-Hauls out there because everybody wants to leave California.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. You think about the price of living out there and how real estate over the years has just skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can tell you right now, like the 311 boys, like when they bought their first houses out there in California, then by the time they all sold their first houses, they made a killing.
Well, I'm sure they did. Definitely invested in the right. Definitely invested in the right time and stuff. So, naturally, we know how like the Roadie Relief Fund came about because of COVID. What do you miss most about being a drum tech, whether it was for like the Foo Fighters, Justin Bieber, or just getting ready for that show? What do you miss the most about it?
Um, there's so many things I miss. So it's hard to even put it into words as far as the thing I miss the most. I miss my tour families. You know what I mean? The people that become like a permanent part of your life, because when you're not with your actual family at home, you're with these people, and they're the ones who help you get through each every day. You know, they're leaning on each other's backs and whatnot. That's one of the reasons why Roadie Relief is so important to me, to help my brothers and sisters, because they're family. Even the ones I don't know are still family, because it's like they're in the same business and they know what it's like to leave your loved ones or whatever and go on the road and depend on other people.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And what is kind of like some of the nuances or tricks of the trade, like that you would look for in a quality roadie, like whether it's for like a band that just packs clubs or a band that like the Foo Fighters that sells out arenas and stadiums?
Um, you mean what do I look for in the qualities of work?
Yeah, like qualities of work, like what, like if you're filling out a job description for a roadie, what are some qualities that they would have in order to be a successful roadie?
I just think they need to know that every environment around them, and know their own trade for one. Be willing to help all departments, though. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I remember when I started in this business, is like I wanted to know every department. I didn't want to just be one thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of 27 years, I've been a production manager. I've been a tour manager. I've been a security guy. I've been a carpenter. I've flown PA. You know, I've been a backline tech, a drum tech, a guitar tech, a bass tech. Mm-hmm. Not a great guitar tech, though. Not really my forte, but drums and bass guitar, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those are my two loves as far as backline teching. And then I guess that's what I'd look for in somebody.
Yeah, definitely. And like sometimes, this might be kind of a dumb question here, but can you sometimes feel the audience buzzing, like when you're setting up the stage and all that stuff? Do you sometimes feel the energy from the audience?
Absolutely. I love to this day, like peeking around a curtain or just going down and sitting in the corner, like by where the security is, right where the barricade and the bike rack is, and looking down the front line against the rail and seeing people's faces, because I was such an avid concert goer as a kid that I get it. You know, like,
oh, definitely.
I feed off that energy, and there's good points like during shows when I feel like a band is super clicking. You know, like I'm like, wow, they're on fire right now. You look at the crowd, and the crowd's going crazy, and I still get goosebumps from that.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, like, what are some, like, a few goosebump moments that you can remember right offhand from, like, whether it's you being a concert goer or you being as a roadie?
Well, as the roadie, I mean, the one, like the last show I did with Foo Fighters at London Stadium. I mean,
oh man,
77,000 people. They did 2 nights there, so 77,000 people both nights. In that part in All My Life,
mm-hmm.
Where it's like, I mean, 77,000 people. Like, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like, it was insane watching all those people fucking just lose their minds.
Yeah, and I remember back in 2012, I believe, off the White Limo album, Foo Fighters. It wasn't called the White Limo album. I'm terrible with album names. It's the album with White Limo. And they just, they completely went to a jam session during My Hero, and that was just absolutely incredible. So, what are some things, like, Dave Grohl is absolutely a rock god, and so is Taylor Hawkins. What are some favorite memories you have of those cats? Like,
I mean, I've had a lot with them. I toured with them for 15 years, and there's been a lot of funny moments.
Oh, I can imagine.
I had, like, one of my favorite moments though was I sang "It's a Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll."
Oh, AC/DC, right?
Mm-hmm. With them at Saturday Night Live. Obviously not live when the crowd was there, but it was pretty fun. That was a cool one. And when we rickrolled the Southwest Baptist Church, Westminster Baptist Church, whatever those weirdos are.
That church out of Kansas that they have, like, they're against, like, people that are LGBTQ and stuff, and
they're against everything.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the signs that they have are unbelievable when you're driving by. It's like, what in the hell is wrong with these people? And, the first time that we rickrolled them, well, not rickrolled, the first time we trolled them, the band dressed as they did in the promo for the Wasting Light tour. And they're all like truckers. And I was standing on a hay bale in pink tiny little shorts. And I think I can't remember, like a little girl shirt, and I was waving a rainbow flag or something. And then the next time we found out they're going to do a show again, we got a pickup truck and we put big speakers and we're rickrolling. We played Rick Ashley's, and I was wearing little purple Speedo with a purple extra small women's top, waving a sign at them with all the band around me. The band, they tricked me though. They were like, "We're all gonna wear Speedos in the back of this pickup," and then we got to the pickup and nobody else took off their jeans, and I took off my jeans. I'm like, "Where's your guys' Speedo?" And they're like, "Oh no, just you."
That was quite the rib they pulled on you, huh?
Oh, and it's funny. My wife was pregnant at the time, and she was at the show, and she rode in the front of the truck, and she was like, "I do not like this." I was like, and at that moment, I was like, "Yes, please don't let me get shot and die in this purple Speedo right now."
Wouldn't that be a hell of a way to go, though?
Oh, it would, but it'd also be like, "Oh my gosh, the last thing I'm wearing is this, and my wife is pregnant and pissed."
Yeah. Could you imagine that on your tombstone? Died while in purple Speedo or something like that?
Yeah, it was bad enough about a week later when the band called me in the dressing room. They're like, "Have you read the news?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, apparently on all the LGBTQ men's sites, you are being referred to as Sirloin and Speedo Daddy."
Oh, that's so great.
So for like the next 2 weeks, that's all I got referred to. Hey, Speedo Daddy, or hey, Sirloin.
So do they still call you that, like, as an inside joke?
No, it's dead now. Thank gosh.
Yeah, no kidding. Should we keep that part off the record so that doesn't happen again?
I don't care. I'm down with the LGBTQ or whatever, but it's just funny that that's the names they picked for me. Speedo Daddy.
Oh yeah, that is so crazy. So is Dave Grohl as badass as he is in real life? Like when I see him on the videos and stuff, is he that badass of a human being?
Yeah, he is. He truly is. He is definitely. I've always said he's like the Paul McCartney of our generation. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely that badass. And I believe that he will go down forever like that. Just to be in such an iconic band as Nirvana, and then to take it to the next level because Foo Fighters are way bigger than Nirvana ever was. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
You know, Nirvana never played stadiums. You know, so it's incredible what he's done musically, and he's genuinely a really nice guy.
Yeah, he really seems that way. So, more about the Roadie Relief Fund. Obviously, like I said, it came about because of COVID and stuff like that. Like, where can people donate, and where can people help you guys out? Because there are so many people that are out of work because of COVID.
Yeah, I mean, there's hundreds, millions in the music business. You know, hundreds of thousands of roadies, and if people want to help, I always say like three things: like donate if you can. I mean, you can donate at roadierelief.org. We have a donation, portion of the website that you can click on to the GoFund, or even on our Instagram, we have a link tree that you can automatically go down and hit the GoFund. We have an auction going right now, which is amazing. We have signed items from so many artists. We have some really, really cool badass guitars. It's, Tommy Thayer from Kiss. We got one from Ghost. Phil X from Bon Jovi.
Steve Vai.
I'm brain farting right now, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
But I mean, we got Ray was here from Korn. Has donated so much stuff to his. Oh, here's the craziest thing. I can't believe I'm a brain fart on this. Thank you, babe. Steve Vai. I've watched that guy since I was young. He's a monster shredder, and I've ended up, meet him and talk to him via email. And not only did he donate a very large sum of money to Roadie Relief, I'm not going to say how much, but
for sure,
he donated a very nice sum of money to Roadie Relief. He donated, his own personal Ibanez Jim Jr. and he signed it, and then whoever wins, he'll personally sign it to him, and then he's going to do like a 20-minute one-on-one Zoom with them.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, one-on-one. Like, if you're a guitar player, not only are you getting his signed guitar, but you're going to get a personal 20-minute like shred lesson with the dude. Like, I wish I was a guitar player. Like, I mean, I can enter, the auction too, just not just because I'm. If I was a guitar player, I'd be all over this like crazy.
You know what?
Email. I mean, I've been emailing with him. I haven't gotten to Zoom with him. You know what I mean?
That is so crazy to think about. That really blows my mind. How I think the one positive thing that came out of COVID, and in the midst of all the negativity and stuff, is just how people came together. And I think that's attributed to you, for the Roadie Relief Fund and stuff like that. So I know the music industry really appreciates all the work that you put into it, and I certainly appreciate it because, like one thing I especially appreciate about concerts is not just the band but the work. It blows my mind how people can change out a set in like 15 minutes. How do you guys do it? It's like, what sorcery do you use?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's been sometimes when opening bands have a lot of gear, I'm like, how? Even at the beginning of the show, you'd be like, how in the hell is this going to even happen in 30 minutes? And then it always does. like, everybody pulls together and it happens.
Yeah, definitely. And so are like when COVID is over, are you gonna resume as like drum tech for the Foo Fighters or
No, my last tour I was on was Slipknot,
Oh,
I
okay.
signed on, I signed on to do the whole tour, and we were cut short, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we had a whole year ahead of us still, so I would assume that's where I'm going next, I mean, we still, the Knot crew, we talk about every other day, you know what I mean? We've been a pretty tight family, so yeah, that's kind of where we've been.
Yeah, do a lot of them still live in Iowa?
I think they only live in Iowa. There's 4 of them live in Iowa.
Okay. All right. And what else would you like to add in regards to Roadie Relief Fund? Like where people can donate or what people can look out for?
I look for people, the one thing I ask is share if you can share with everybody, please. Like, everybody has social media at some point, or of some kind. Like, share on your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram or your Twitch or your TikTok or whatever. I'm an old man, so I don't even know what half these things are. But I just ask people to really share, because that gets the word. And then, like I said, you can donate to our website, roadierelief.org, or you can bid on something in our auction, or you can go to bandcamp.com, and score one of the 3 songs that the Kings of Quarantine have put out to help aid Roadie Relief. And which is such an amazing thing, because all these, like I said, all these artists come together that don't even particularly know each other, and they do this song and they make a video, and it's absolutely amazing.
CT knows best.
Yeah, again, it's such incredible work that you all do. And on behalf of Madness Creation, obviously I own the site, but I would like to make a donation to Roadie Relief Fund, and I will be doing that tomorrow. And yeah, so
thanks, dude.
Yeah, no problem. And if there's anything I can do to help you, this amazing organization out, I would love to help. So please let me know.
Yeah, I just say please share. This interview right here will help. So I thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, Chad. And I got to ask you real quick. I'm sure you get asked that lots of times. Why do they call you YETI?
It's a nickname I got when I was a little kid.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's been a nickname I've had forever.
Yeah.
Because definitely not because I'm hairy, because I'm a bald ass bitch. And I don't even have any hair on my arm. Like, I am the most unhairless person there is. So I'm the farthest thing from a Yeti. So I tell people I'm a Midwest, Nebraska corn Yeti. We don't really have hair. We just blend into the corn fields. My wife is laughing at me right now.
She sounds like a good woman, so.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Chad, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me for Madness Creation Podcast. Is there